The longest war in the Bible, 40 years wandering in the desert. Why did Israel take 40 years for an 11-day journey? Based on Numbers 14:34, was it God's punishment or training? Chapter 1, On the Edge of Freedom, the Exodus from Egypt. The Israelites had spent centuries under Pharaoh's brutal slavery. Their cries reached heaven, and God chose Moses to lead them out of bondage. Through miraculous signs, plagues, the parting of the Red Sea, and divine protection, God freed them from Egypt's grip. They began a journey that should have taken only 11 days to reach the Promised Land, Canaan, a land flowing with milk and honey. But what should have been a quick passage turned into a 40-year-long spiritual battle. It was not just a journey through the wilderness, it was a war against fear, rebellion, and unbelief. Chapter 2, The First Glimpse, the Mission of the 12 Spies. When the Israelites reached the borders of Canaan, God told Moses to send 12 spies, one from each tribe, to scout the land, Numbers 13. For 40 days, the spies explored the land, witnessing its beauty, abundance, and the strength of its people. They returned with a mixed report. Yes, the land was rich. But the people were giants. The cities were heavily fortified. Fear gripped their hearts. 10 spies brought back a negative, fear-filled report. We can't attack these people, they are stronger than we are. We seemed like grasshoppers in our own eyes, and we looked the same to them. But Joshua and Caleb, the only 2 faithful spies, stood with boldness. If the Lord is pleased with us, He will lead us into that land. Do not be afraid of them.
Chapter 3, The Storm of Doubt, a Crisis of Faith. The people heard the report and broke down in fear. Instead of trusting the God who parted the Red Sea, they turned on Him. Why did God bring us here to die? Let's choose a new leader and return to Egypt. Numbers 14:4. Their faith shattered. What God saw was not just fear, it was rebellion. 10 times they had tested Him. 10 times they had doubted His goodness. Now, they crossed the final line. Chapter 4, The Verdict, God's Righteous Judgment. God's response was swift and clear. He declared, "Not one of those who saw my glory in the signs I performed in Egypt and in the wilderness but who disobeyed me and tested me 10 times, none of them will ever see the land I promised." And then came the divine decree. For every day the land was explored, you will wander the wilderness for a year, a total of 40 years, until this entire rebellious generation dies. Numbers 14:34. Only Joshua and Caleb, who remained faithful, would enter the promised land. This wasn't just punishment. It was also preparation. A generation would be forged in the fire of the wilderness, taught obedience, humility, and dependence on God. Chapter 5, Punishment or Preparation? A deeper look ****. The 40 years were not a detour. They were a divine classroom. God taught them. 1. Daily dependence. Manna from heaven. Water from the rock. Shoes and clothes that never wore out.
Chapter 10, Breaking the Circle, Walking Toward Promise ****. The good news is, God is still faithful. He still leads, provides, forgives, trains. If you feel like you've been walking in circles for years, ask, what is God trying to teach me? Am I trusting fear more than him? Have I hardened my heart to his voice? Today, if you hear his voice, do not harden your hearts. Hebrews 3 verse 15, *. Chapter 11, From Desert to Destiny, a Final Call. After 40 long years, the Israelites finally crossed the Jordan River. They had not arrived by strength, but by surrender. Surrender to God's plan. Surrender to his timing. Surrender to his lordship. We, too, will only enter our promised lands when we stop fighting God, and start trusting him. Chapter 12, Conclusion, the Message of the Longest War. This wasn't just Israel's story. It's our story. A journey begun in hope. Delayed by doubt. Redeemed by grace. Let us not waste our deserts. Let us learn, grow, and rise with a new heart like Joshua and Caleb. Not one of the men who treated me with contempt will ever see it. But my servant Caleb has a different spirit and follows me wholeheartedly. Numbers 14:23-24, *. Fire key takeaways for your life today. Trust God even when the path looks hard. Don't let fear speak louder than faith. Delay is not denial, it may be divine training. God is faithful in the desert. Your promised land still awaits.